The Dallas Travel Show was filled with great speakers and a lot of good information about ways to travel cheaper and easier. Check it out.
And the AirTag are now communicating with one another, and they'll be able to also know exactly where your bag is. Now, the carry-on rules for this country have not changed. It's still 45 linear inches, 22 by 14 by 9. But where the game changer happens is when you're flying an international carrier and they have very strict carry-on limits for weight. Double check the website of the airline you're flying on, especially the carry-on limits for weight, because you'll be very surprised. So that may lead you to look at your own carry-on and say, okay, well, I bought this Travel Pro 15 years ago. It's almost 12 pounds empty. Maybe I should get one that starts at 5 or 6 pounds empty, and then you'll be in better shape. And if you're looking for luggage, it's the wheels, the zippers, and the handles. If those
to have you at the right hotels and to leverage your points, miles, credit cards to travel cheaper and better. Like I said, here's a copy of the presentation. I know there might be some things that are hard to see. I'll have QR codes throughout this, but also here's my email. Feel free to send me a note. I will send you a copy of the presentation. My name is Scott Mayerowitz. I am the founder of Globetrot Scott Strategies. I spent over 2 decades in media, working at places like ABC News, the Associated Press, and I was executive editor for 5 years at The Points Guy. These allow carry-ons. Everyone else, you're boarding last, which means you're gonna have to gate check your bag. No advanced seat assignments, which means you are probably getting a middle seat that doesn't recline, that happens to be right next to the bathroom. So, it's not worth it, especially because airlines today have gotten rid of the change fees, which means if you book a $200 ticket today and have to cancel, the wedding gets moved, you have a doctor's appointment, you need to change the trip, you can get a credit that's good for 1 year from the date of booking with that airline to fly a different time. If you book basic economy, you don't get it. And the flexibility. And if anything, the last few months have shown us flexibility in travel is super important. If you get stranded overnight, or if there's a 6-hour, 12-hour delay, what do those $500 mean for you per ticket, by the way? It means you can rent a car. It means you can cancel and book on a different airline. It means you can get a hotel of your choice for your 4.5 hours of sleep for that flight that they rebooked you on the next day. Next thing you need to do is rent. Why? Because if there is a delay, you want to be the first one to know. Next thing you want to do is save the 1-800 customer service number for your airline in your phone. Does anyone know Southwest number off? Anyone? I fly SWA. These are the things that you want to have ready to go. Why? Let's say I'm on the 10 a.m. flight to Florida. It gets canceled. There are 3 seats left on the noon flight. Guess what? You guys look like a lovely couple. You both verbal points. Chase, American Express, Capital One, Citi. Save them for hotels. Why? You don't pay taxes when you transfer your points to Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, IHG, Hyatt, Hilton. What does that mean? You're booking a room for $200 a night. The lodging tax can be 20% or more in some cities. So now you're adding another $40 a night to your room. If you book on Marriott.com using Marriott points, you don't have to pay any of those taxes, and it might be much lower. Step further, we'll actually waive resort fees on their points bookings. So 2, truck stop, freight trains. I have stayed at hotels, 3 in the morning, the train comes through blaring its horn. Google Maps, go to satellite view, go to street view. I would rather drive an extra mile down the road from the Hampton Inn to the Holiday Inn Express, they're all the same, and stay where I don't have to be next to the freight train tracks. And I'm going to walk you through why it's actually better, often, not always, to transfer those points over. And I will say Hyatt just is in the process of devaluing its points, so some of this might not hold when the program changes in May. Here's an example, Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress Resort, right outside of Disney World, great family-friendly place. Here's the cash stay. I know it's hard for everyone to see this, but the resort fee is $50 a night. In addition, they charge tax on the resort fee. I mean, it's just like adding insult to the injury. If you book it directly through Chase, you can see the price in points. They're adding $168 to it, which is you at checkout have to pay that resort fee directly to the hotel and the taxes for it. Or you book direct, don't have any of those taxes, and you'll see it's 51,000 points instead of 64,000 points. And these are points that transfer one-to-one. They're the same. So it's an example. I'm not saying it's always going to be this way, but it's something to look at. If you're thinking, once you've narrowed down where you want to stay, look at the portal where you have the points, like Chase or American Express, but also look directly at the hotel's website to see how many points it would be and if there's a cash copay or not, and what that would come out to be. My AARP card, I've been a member for several years. Why? I'm not retired, but they have some great discounts with British Airways and elsewhere. If you're a Costco member, Sam's Club member, really good way to book car rentals. So think about all the ways that you are going to book and what makes sense for you. What do I do when I arrive? I check that the alarm clock is not on. The last guest who had a 3 a.m. wake up, I don't want a 3 a.m. wake up. Housekeeping never fixed the alarm. Great, I'd rather find that out the day before. The outlet on the right is a bathroom nightlight. It's in the bathroom. It's got the little test and reset button like you have in your bathroom or kitchen at home. You hit test, shuts off power in the bathroom. No nightlight, I sleep better. First thing in the morning, or if I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you hit the reset button. Hanger trick, you take the little alligator clips, pull the blinds close together, clip it together. That way, that little crack of light is not waking you up at 5:05 a.m. in the hotel. These are the little things that you can do to kind of make your stay better. This is a video I did of the Income, which is a popular Marriott one. You can just Google on YouTube, look at the type of the thermostat, and search the words thermostat override. There will be tips. This one you have to hit up, off, fan, display all at the same time, and then the down button, and it goes into a mode where you can override the air conditioning. Make it 64 degrees in your room. Tier, Executive Platinum with one airline, top tier Delta Diamond with a second. I think he did it March 2nd this year. Free check bags, I'll show you how to get that easier anyway. Earlier boarding, you can get that through a credit card too. Maybe not the first group, but early enough to get your bag in the overhead bin. The only thing that I actually think Elite Status is worth today, you get better agents and shorter times to call when you have things go wrong. So back to our 5 of us want those 3 seats on that delayed flight. You guys actually have Elite Status. Freaking thing, credit cards are not as lucrative elsewhere. Over here is simple, easy type of credit card. Over here is Crazy Scott with 40 plus credit cards falling off the stage in complexity. I'm not suggesting you come over here, but I want to help you find out in this zone what works for you. Where do you live? I probably would not suggest anyone who lives here gets a Delta Airlines credit card. It's probably not going to do you a lot of good unless you really like connecting in Atlanta. Maybe it would. So, do you want something that's transferable currency? The American Express, Chase, Capital One ecosystem. Do you want to double down on American or Southwest? Do you want a hotel card? Do you not want to think at all and just have a cashback card and that's your travel slush fund? I pay $8.95 for this credit card. It's a really steep fee. There's a laundry list of things that I get. I live in New York City. Every restaurant's on Resi. We spend $100 a quarter out dining, no problem. That's $400 I get back right there. I belong to Equinox. It's a fancy gym in New York. I get $300 back on my membership a year. I'm already up to $700 out of my $8.95. I take Uber a lot. I travel a lot. Airline credits, hotel credits. My wife and daughter shop at Lululemon. So do I. We get the $300, no problem. We have Disney Plus, New York Times subscription. Ugly has lounges with every single credit card. It's great. But if you're flying out of the A gates, are you really going to trek over to Terminal D to use the American Express lounge? And there might be a wait when you show up. Is it worth it for you? The lounge access is sort of the icing on the cake for me at the end. But I do the math based on the benefits. And I want all of you to do the same thing. Pay your credit card bill on time. I just opened up a credit card at Nordstrom. I did because it comes with free alterations. I'm short. Anytime I buy a pair of jeans, I need them altered, let alone shirts, anything else. The interest rate was 32.7%. Introductory rate. That's beyond highway robbery. That's usury. It's horrible. If you do not pay your bills in full, thank you for coming. Go visit the various exhibits here. The rest of it should not apply to you. For those of you who pay your bills in full, please stay. We'll go on through the next event at the bar, given my 1 a.m. wake-up call. Will opening another credit card hurt my credit rating? No, it actually helps it. It's this perverse thing. Let's just say I spend $1,000 a month on my credit card, and I have a credit limit of $10,000. I am using 10% of my credit utilization. $1,000 a month, $10,000 limit. If I now open 2 more credit cards with $10,000 limit, I'm still only spending $1,000 a month, but I have $30,000 limit across my 3 cards. Means I'm using 3.5% credit utilization, and I will actually see my credit score go up. The one exception is right after you open a card, there's a brief dip. So if you're applying for new auto insurance, a new loan, a mortgage, I usually tell people wait 6 months, do that, and then you can go ahead and open cards. Rate it. So you signed up for the Chase Sapphire Reserve at $7.95 a year now. $6.95, $7.95, I can't keep track anymore. You tried it for a year or 2, you're like, I'm done. You call them up, you don't want to close it. Well, first you want to ask them if they have a retention offer. They'll often say, hey, if you spend $4,000, we'll give you another 50,000 points. And you're like, cha-ching, 1 more year, here I go. But if they don't offer you that, what you want to do is actually downgrade it to a no annual fee card. And that no annual fee card keeps your credit history, which is 15% of your overall score. If you go to globetrottscott.com/cards, I explain these 9 and a few others. What I will say on the left side of the screen is over here. Simple, no annual fee, cash back. Over here, a little bit more complicated, but you get a lot more benefits for it. The American Express Blue Preferred right there, 6% back on groceries. I know a lot of families who spend a lot on monthly groceries. Great card for them. Other people are travel junkies and they really want those cards. On the right side, the 3 there in particular offer you great travel insurance and trip delay insurance. If your flight is delayed 6 hours or more or overnight, they will pay you that.
If this is your first trip, particularly as a woman, I think it's important to maybe you don't want to spend your whole trip being scared and nervous. You need to pick something that's going to put you in a position where you might be a little out of your comfort zone, but you're still able to like have an enjoyable time. Because my concern is that if you are so like you jump straight into going to East Africa, it's your first trip internationally, and that is so far out of your comfort zone that it's quite terrifying. For some people, that's not terrifying, but if that's the case, you may set the tone for your future solo travel being not so fun. So I actually have a little mini free course on my website that actually can walk you through ideas for solo travel, depending on your experience level. But as Chrissy already said, I think a really good one, if you're not experienced, is pick a place here in Texas, like somewhere within an hour or 2, particularly if you have kids and you're nervous about leaving them. That's a distance that you can get back home quickly if you feel like there's an emergency. Pick a place, pick a really boutique hotel that has nice room service, a spa that you can take advantage of, and maybe 1 or 2 interesting things like a museum or a cooking class or something that you can go do, and then come back. Just try one night first. Okay, so something that I find really important is being able to have my hands free. If you are carrying a really big, I see a lot of these tote bags and things, they're really easy to put your hand in. You want something with a zipper on top that somebody can't just stick their hand in. And this is like for men and women. But having your hands free enables you to, if there is an emergency all of a sudden, you've got hands available. If you trip and fall, ask me how I know that one. But so having like a crossbody purse that has a zipper on top that you can, put your valuables away, but also have your hands free is key. I think that's one. Another one is, I travel with a backpack. I also travel with a small roller bag like this. But if you travel with 2 things like that, get the backpack that has a little strap on the back that slides on top, because again, for if you're doing train travel, if you're doing a cruise, anything like that, it enables you to manage your bags yourself, and you can see what's going on the hand luggage. So somebody isn't opening the zipper and taking things. I think it's really key that you can visually see what's going on with your bag. And the last little tip I'll throw in is that I always travel with a couple of extra, these random things that can be used in many helpful scenarios. One is duct tape or electrical tape. You cannot believe how many uses that stuff has. I almost said a cuss word, but you can close windows with it. You can cover the little peephole on your door if you don't want someone to look in. You can fix a bag in an emergency. It is unreal what you can do with some duct tape or electrical tape. The second thing is a Sharpie. Sharpies can be used to write on all kinds of helpful things, label things anywhere. You should also always have a pen. And then the third thing that I always travel with is a couple of extra, those combination locks. So I have them on my backpack, I have them I usually carry an extra like folded up tote bag inside my luggage in case I buy extra stuff. I bring an extra lock for that. You always want to keep your bags locked. So make sure you're carrying extra things like that that enable you to keep your valuables safe.
Staying at an Airbnb or staying in like an older hotel in a foreign country, I always recommend getting a carbon monoxide detector. You can get those really inexpensively on Amazon. They're about $22. But I feel like there's been a couple of times, maybe even since COVID, where you've heard about people, like families mysteriously dying. Like I feel like there was one in, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and then it's been carbon monoxide poisoning. And that, some hotels and Airbnbs in foreign countries, they don't have the same kind of regulations or restriction or, codes that we have. And so that would be the one thing I would definitely recommend too.
Say, just do it when it comes to social travel or solo travel, solo and social travel. I don't know, whatever. Just do it. And I think, the longer you wait to do something in life, and I don't just mean months, I just mean in years, as we get older, it gets scarier to do things. I'm less likely to do things now than I was 20 years ago. So just do it and keep on doing it.
I think, as I already mentioned, if you need some ideas, I have a free little 5-part course on my website that gives you ideas for solo travel and how to dip your toe into it. But I think additionally, start small. Don't be intimidated and do the research ahead of time. I think we've already mentioned that. There are so many bloggers out there who can give you real world, like real experience advice, come up with some ideas of things that you haven't thought of. I would also say be mindful of AI if you're using AI to plan the trip. Getting advice about visas or things like that from AI, not a good source. So if you want to use it just to get some initial start, not a bad idea, but go to real legit sources, especially for important tips around safety and passports and visas and things like that. But all travel counts. So don't feel like you're not a traveler or not a solo traveler if you only went to Innis or Granbury or you went to a national park or a state park. You don't have to cross even a border to do it. So,
man, it was like, start local, just do a staycation instead of going to a completely different place you don't know anything about. Explore your own city that you live in by yourself. Get a hotel for just the night, the weekend, whatever you want, and just pretend to be a tourist in your own town. And that's a way to get really comfortable traveling by yourself, is starting local, staying somewhere, then branch out doing like a road trip, the state over, the country over. Like, grow as you feel comfortable, basically. That's the best advice that you can do. Do what's comfortable for you. Now we have...
You were there, right?